Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cold Hard Truth podcast. I'm Jack Smith, and today I'm bringing you guys my scouting report for Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence. And to give you all a sneak peek, I think he might be the best prospect I have ever seen. Before I get into it, please help us out and drop a like on the video. A simple 10 seconds of your life means the world to us and will really help our channel grow and get our videos out to more people. While you're down there, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell for more NFL and college football content. This is a continuation in our series in which we're going to scout some of the top 2021 NFL draft prospects and come to you guys with our findings, insights, and our final opinions. I've already done a video like this on Justin Fields, which I will link right here and in the description for you guys to watch after this video. You can also check out a playlist with each scouting episode we have done to date. Without further ado, though, let's get into my scouting report for Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Like I mentioned in the Justin Fields video, which you guys can see after this video, the three things I take a look at when scouting a player are their film, their statistics, and who they are off of the field. So let's start by rolling the film, and then after that, we'll get into his statistics and who he is as a person and as a leader. Some of the things that stick out when you watch Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence are his accuracy, his pocket presence, and his ability to throw on the run. Lawrence is tremendous in the pocket. You can tell that he's comfortable. He gives himself a clean pocket. He's able to sense pressure very well. He's just great at giving himself a clean pocket, which allows him to make the different throws on the field. Quarterbacks like Daniel Jones, who have a poor pocket presence, they struggle with that sometimes. They take unnecessary sacks. Sometimes they're not able to make clean throws because there's a guy in their face when they could have stepped to the right and found that little clean pocket. There's always that little bit of air that quarterbacks can find and then step into their throws. And Trevor Lawrence is a quarterback that excels at finding that spot and then finding his receiver down the field to make his throw. In this play right here against South Carolina, there's pressure on Trevor Lawrence's backside, and he notices it subconsciously. He steps up in the pocket to his right where he sees an opening behind the line of scrimmage, and then he goes and he unloads a great throw. Some quarterbacks here wouldn't see the guy coming, and they might lose the ball on a fumble or a strip sack. But Lawrence can feel the pressure. He steps up, he steps to the right where there's nothing in his way. He's unharmed and he's able to make a good throw, which is something that the great quarterbacks need to be able to do. And that's something that you really see from Lawrence, and it really shines out on his tape. The next thing I noticed on film is how well that Trevor Lawrence runs the Clemson offense. The offense utilizes a lot of RPOs, screens, play action, and uses the run game to set up the passing offense. And Trevor Lawrence really makes that dangerous. Some people may say that, oh, he throws a lot of screens, RPOs, he's got open wide receivers. But no matter what he is asked to do, Trevor Lawrence runs the Clemson offense to perfection. This play right here against Georgia Tech shows you exactly that. They run a fake pitch, which is something that you rarely ever see, and then Trevor Lawrence keeps his eyes down the field while making the play fake and finds a tight end right over the middle, hits him in stride, and he goes for a touchdown. It's kind of a gimmicky offense, and there is an open receiver, but just look at the way that Lawrence runs that play. Not very many quarterbacks can do it any better than that. He hits the play action perfectly, and he keeps his eyes down the field and hits his player right in stride on their way to a touchdown. This play in the national championship against LSU shows you that too, because, a player like Trevor Lawrence, a great quarterback prospect, you wouldn't expect them to be able to run the read option as well as, some quarterbacks. But Trevor Lawrence, he's able, in the national championship game against the number one team in the nation, he's able to read the read option perfectly and take it in to score the opening touchdown of the game. The thing that I'm getting at right here, and the thing I love so much about Lawrence, is he can do anything he is asked to do. He can throw simple pocket passes, RPOs. He can run the read option, even quarterback design runs, play action, rollouts, name anything, and Trevor Lawrence can do it, and he has had practice doing it in this Clemson offense. They're very versatile. They run a lot of different things you'll see in the NFL, things you'll see in college, things you won't see, in most other places other than at Clemson. But no matter what he is asked to do, he just does it. He runs it to perfection, which is why I believe, and I'm really confident in the fact that no matter what he is asked to do in the NFL and no matter what team he goes to in the NFL, he will be able to do it because he's had practice doing a variety of different things, even some things that a player of his size and of his caliber and of his archetype shouldn't do, he's able to do. Look at this run against Ohio State in the college football playoff semifinals and tell me that a guy that looks like Lawrence and plays like Lawrence should be able to do this to one of the best defenses in the country.
Lawrence took a peek downfield, had a lot of room, and breaks the tackle, and is still running. Lawrence in a foot race. Will they catch him? Touchdown, Tigers! Wow!
Yeah, I didn't think so either, and it was very surprising to me to see that Lawrence was able to go out here and run for 60 plus yards, put the move on a defensive back, and get into the end zone. And I think that that just shows you his versatility and his willingness and ability to do anything on the field and anything in the playbook, which is the reason that I'm so confident when I talk about Trevor Lawrence, and what I see from him shows me that he can do whatever he's asked to do in the NFL. People may say that, Lawrence has gotten to play with some great receivers. He's got a good offensive line that gives him time. He plays against ACC opponents. Clemson really never has a tough schedule. But I think that the thing that makes me look past that is Lawrence's perfect execution. He still goes out no matter what, and he plays well. Good throws are good throws. Good players are good players. It doesn't matter that he's playing against ACC competition. It's the best that he's offered up, and he's made do. And he's won a national championship. He's won great games against semifinal opponents. He's played well. Winning ACC championships. You can't knock him for what's around him. You can only look at what you see on film. He makes good throws, that will translate. He makes plays, that will translate too. I believe that his perfect execution shows me that no matter what he's given in the NFL, whether that be a bad team like the New York Jets or, bad players around him, bad coaching, different types of plays, I believe he will succeed because he has shown on film he can do whatever he's asked. Moving on to Trevor Lawrence's statistics, something I mentioned in the Justin Fields video that you guys can watch after this one in the description is the thing that I base most of my statistic research on is the idea of extrapolation, which is something I learned in a book that you guys can go look at in the previous video. The gist of the idea is that single year stats can be impressive, but it is necessary to look more at how stats extrapolate over time. If you're not consistently improving, then I think you can bring up some question marks, which is something that I did not have to do with Trevor Lawrence. His stats were already off the charts, and each year he's actually improved. He rarely turns the ball over, and while he did throw more interceptions in his second year, he also threw more touchdowns. So his touchdown to interception ratio was still great. His completion percentage has always been above 65%, and so far through this year, I'm recording this, just before the ACC championship game against Notre Dame, his completion percentage is at almost 70%, which is out of this world. It's something that we saw from Joe Burrow, even the most accurate quarterbacks in college football sit around that number. So Trevor Lawrence had a great completion percentage before, and he's improved to an even better number this year. Like I mentioned before, his touchdown to interception ratio is amazing, but also his touchdown and interception percentages, which is what happens to seeing what percentage of the time do they throw a touchdown or an interception. They've been amazing, and they've stayed roughly the same interception wise, and he's been improving touchdown wise. And this is with complications in his final year, dealing with a positive COVID test and playing less games because of that. So Trevor Lawrence's statistical categories have always been off the charts. He's blown away box scores, but he's also been improving every year in almost every stat. His QBR's gone up every single year. He's throwing more yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions. Percentages are doing amazing. It's just Trevor Lawrence might just be the perfect prospect. I know it's tough to say that because there's always problems, but he's been improving. He already had ridiculous numbers, ridiculous film, but he's been improving, which is something that just shows you that Trevor Lawrence has extrapolated well over time, and so is his statistics, which is, what causes people to believe that he's the next Andrew Luck or the next Peyton Manning. I think the statistics show you the same thing as the film. Trevor Lawrence is an amazing quarterback. He's going to be a great prospect no matter where he goes. And that's is a lot of the reason why people think that he could be the next big thing and maybe a surefire Hall of Fame pick in the NFL draft. Moving into off the field stuff with Trevor Lawrence, this isn't a category that was made for Trevor Lawrence. He's had really no off the field issues. He had a positive COVID test and he fought back from that, continued to lead his team, came back on fire, stayed a leader in the whole process. Over this last offseason, he stood by his black teammates for the Black Lives Matter movement. He also helped bring college football back alongside players like Justin Fields and others. He's a good kid. He's a good person. You don't see any problems off the field that could translate to the NFL. I mean, you got to think that people doing interviews with him at the combine are going to love him. He's well spoken. He's kind of the whole package. He's really got everything. So I don't have any worries off the field with Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is about as close to a perfect prospect as you'll ever see. I was a little bit too young to be scouting players when Peyton Manning was coming out of the draft, and I got fully into football after Andrew Luck went into the draft. So I can't make comparisons to my scouting reports of either of those players since, I didn't have one. So I can't make those comparisons. But in the years that I have been focusing a lot on college football and on NFL football and scouting players and making my opinions, I can agree that Trevor Lawrence is the best prospect that I have ever seen at the quarterback position, and I really think that overall he's the best prospect I have ever watched. I mean, you just can't knock the guy for anything. He excels in big games. He runs his offense perfectly. He makes his team around him better. He's a tremendous leader, and he does everything nearly flawlessly. As a personal Jets fan, I hope that I get to see Trevor Lawrence in green next year after the draft and for years to come, which is a big thing because Sam Darnold is my favorite quarterback and favorite player of all time, being a USC fan. So it's tough for me to move on, but Trevor Lawrence is amazing. Trevor Lawrence is a near perfect prospect, and I just can't wait to see him in the NFL. Hopefully he's on my team. That would be amazing. And I'd be really excited to see that. But no matter where he goes, Lawrence will bring a tremendous bag of tools and tricks to whatever team he goes to. And I believe that he has shown that no matter where he goes, he will excel. No matter what he's asked to do, he will excel, which is the biggest thing I noticed from Trevor Lawrence looking at him in his entire scouting report. If I had to just sum it up in one sentence, that's what it would be. Trevor Lawrence is so good that no matter what you ask him to do, he will do it at a nearly flawless level. Anyways, that's my final opinion on Trevor Lawrence. He's going to be great for years to come, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did and want to see more, please leave a like and comment letting me know what players you guys want to see next and what your opinion was on Trevor Lawrence. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on for more NFL and scouting content. You guys can also go down to the description or go to our channel to find the playlist for all the other scouting reports that we have done. Right now, this is the second one, but who knows if you're watching this later, there could be more down there. So go see if your favorite prospect is there. If not, leave them in the comment section of this video so we know to get to them before the 2021 NFL draft hits us. I want to thank you guys so much for following along, and I also want to hear your guys' opinion of Trevor Lawrence. So please meet me down in the comment section to talk about Trevor Lawrence or any of your favorite prospects. But that's all I got for you guys today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.